Brothers and sisters, let's talk about the homelessness in America. In 2025, 777 million Americans are homeless. That's not a number. That's men, women, and children. That's families sleeping in cars, in tents, under bridges, and shelters, where the lights never go off. And projections say by the end of this year, it will climb to over 850,000. That's almost a million people. In the richest country, in the richest nation in the world, a country where billionaires who fly to space for fun, with skyscrapers that touch the clouds, with Wall Street's profits breaking records in the United States. And yet, we cannot keep a roof over the heads of our own people. You see, the numbers do not lie. Let's be real about this, ladies and gentlemen. Where do we stand in America with homelessness? In America, the rate is 23 people homeless for every 10,000 residents. In England, 43 out of 10,000. In France, 31 out of 10,000. But look at Finland, only 6 per 10,000, because they said housing is a right. They built a housing first model that works. Even in Dubai, they have zero homelessness. But you know how they do it? Not by compassion, not by care. They do it by deportation. Lose your job, lose your visa, lose your home. And they put you on a plane back to where you came from. That's not mercy, that's exclusion. So we're not talking about that model. So where does that leave America? Not in the worst in numbers, but absolutely the most visible, the most tragic, the most preventable crisis in the world, in the developed world, which is homelessness. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a serious pandemic. Homelessness needs to be addressed. Now let's peel back a little bit of this layer. Why is America drowning while Europe finds ways to stay afloat? It's because the safety net is shredded. No universal health care in America, which means 25 to 30% of people are on the streets with mental illnesses or addiction. They have nowhere to turn. No paid family leave. Families who's hit crisis have to choose between rent and medicine, between keeping the lights on and putting food on the table. No robust unemployment benefits. You lose your job here in America and you're on your own. During COVID, evictions skyrocketed, kept millions away from housing. But when that ended in 2023, homelessness spiked 12% overnight. Europe kept subsidies in place, cushioned the blow, and kept people sheltered. In our scripture, in the lovely book of the Bible, in Galatians, it says, carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of God. America has chosen to cut the cords, leaving families to carry their own burdens alone. In America, we have a saying, they say, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. But what if you don't have any boots? What if there's no straps to pull? And let's not forget who feels the storm the hardest. In America, Black Americans are 3 times more likely to become homeless than our white counterparts. Not because African Americans are lazy, not because they lack ambition, but because of the generational inequality, the inequity, discrimination in lending, disproportionate policing, wage gaps. Meanwhile, in Finland and over in Europe, where housing is treated as a right, outcomes are equitable across groups. What does that prove, Gerald? It proves something important. Homelessness is not inevitable. It's a policy choice. In the good book, in Matthew, it talks about whatever you did for one of these, you did to the least of these. These brothers and sisters of mine, you did it for me. Whatever we're doing for others, we're doing it for God. Whenever we decide to house our people, we're doing it for God. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications. Fearless Conversations. Thank you guys so much. Let's continue this conversation. Now, here's a bitter irony. America isn't broke. The money is here in America, but it's being misused. After 2020, the stimulus cash inflated housing prices by 40%. With no supply of houses increase, the wealth saw their assets grow. Families saw their rent double. Defense budget, $900 billion a year. Housing programs, 70 billion a year. Europe invests 1 to 2% of their GDP into housing. The US, 0.2. Europe coordinated $100 billion for housing between 2021 and 2027. Americans coordinated tax cuts, which gave away $2 trillion in tax cuts while people sleep on the freaking sidewalks. No one's attacking America. Tell me, what does it profit a nation to gain record stocks but lose its soul? We're soaring in the stock market. We have all this cash, but people are sleeping on the streets. Make it make sense. The math isn't mathing. Do we really care about our people? Do we really? And to add to this supply chain strangled by policy, let's talk about tariffs. Tariffs on lumbers and steel cost 15 to 20%, adding $10,000 to $20,000 per home. Deportation policy stripped away 15% of the construction workforce, most of them immigrant laborers, right? That's a whole nother discussion. But in 2024, only 1.4 million units were built. But we need 2.5 million a year to even keep up with this. This isn't an accident. These are choices that raise costs, delay projects, and feed the crisis. Every deported worker, every tariff hike, every stalled project, it doesn't just hurt markets. It pushes families into homelessness. We say that Doge is saving America money, but where the hell is the money? The Doge cuts. Doge comes in the Department of Government Efficiency. It sounds good, right? The government is efficient. Efficient in what? Keeping people homeless? What did we do? Proposed cutting 50 to 84% of HUD staff. It delayed $3.6 billion in homelessness aid, stalled vouchers for 9 million Americans. They claim it saves $50 billion, but the fallout cost is over $100 billion. In shelters, policies, ER visits, and crisis response. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not efficiency, that's foolishness. It's the parable of the foolish builder who cuts corners on the foundation of America, which is homes. And when the storm came, the houses collapsed. How do we have all of this money as Americans, but we're poor? We're poor in spirit. Our people are on the streets. Tariffs raise costs, deportation shrinks the workforce, and Doge is blocking aid. No money is siphoned into tax cuts. The money is siphoned into tax cuts and defense. All of it together forms a perfect storm. Gerald, where is this going? The storm has a body count. 850,000 Americans projected homeless by the end of 2025. Europe has avoided this. They've avoided this storm with welfare for the people. Dubai has avoided this with exclusion. But America, the pinnacle, walked straight into this by choice. We have the money, but we're not allocating it towards the American citizens. Why are we so rich but homeless? Here's the truth. Homelessness is not a natural disaster. It's a man-made crisis. And what man breaks, man can fix. The Bible tells us in Isaiah, is it not to share your bread with the hungry and to bring the homeless poor into your house? When you see the naked, you cover them, and you do not hide yourself from your own flesh. We say we're Christians in America, but no one's taking in the homeless. We have bread, we have the money, we have the ability, but we lack the will, the desire to help others less fortunate. America's homelessness crisis is not about scarcity. It's about misplaced priorities. It's about a nation that has built missiles before it builds houses, that funds prisons before it funds shelters, that rewards the rich before it protects the poor. This strategy isn't working. Brothers and sisters, the call is very clear. If housing is not a right, then dignity is not a right either. And a nation that abandons dignity will one day answer to God for this. The question is this: will we fix the roof before the storm tears down the whole damn house of America? Or will we keep patching the leaks with excuses while our foundation of the society rots away? Choose today whom you will serve. Mercy, wealth, or justice. Power or the people. Because until America decides that housing is sacred, the crisis will only continue to grow. How are we the richest nation in the world, America? but our morals are poor. Our values are desolate. And we say we're a Christian nation, but homelessness floods our streets. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to God. It doesn't make sense to the mothers and the children who are sleeping in their cars because they do not have housing. But yet we are in the richest nation in the world. Where is the money? Where is the money, America? We need to stand up and ask for better supplements, better housing, better opportunities in the richest nation in the world. Homelessness is not a crisis. It's our priority to make sure that those who are impoverished financially, mentally, and physically get the best of our nation, not what's left of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, please share this message. This needs to get out. Homelessness needs to stop in America. It's embarrassing. It's disgusting. And we can do better as Americans. Let's stand up. Let's speak loudly and help those children who are sleeping on the streets, mothers in cars, and on the sidewalks. This needs to stop. Please share this message, like, share, and subscribe. This is Fearless Conversations. We're on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. May God bless you. And I'll see you guys on the next episode.